time to call your lawyer.
Let's call our lawyer and friend, Bruce L. Scheiner, to find out if we can get an answer to today's question. Now, before we get started, though, a couple things I need to let you know. First of all, this is general legal conversation. It's not meant to be specific advice in your specific circumstances. For that, you have got to sit down with a professional and hash out the details face to face. You can't get that kind of advice over the radio. So this is a learning experience. Now, you might have something that you want to run past an attorney quickly. I'll tell you how to contact Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates in a moment. I'll also tell you how to submit a question for future consideration. What we can tell you, some good advice just like all the way around when it comes to legal stuff. Don't let anyone record any conversations. Don't make any statements, and don't sign anything until you've seen a legal professional. So with all that in mind, we go right to today's question with Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Please help me welcome Bruce. Good morning to you. Bruce, how are you today?
Oh, I'm with my grandbaby, so every day is special. I just look forward to the next day to see a little change in how he's grown.
Real fun time period.
It's tremendous.
Well, you keep enjoying that little guy, I know. You certainly have told us a lot of stories. You look forward to a lot more in the future. In the meantime, we have stories to share as well. Ours, unfortunately, aren't quite as amusing as your grandbaby stories, but usually involve some kind of accident or problem for which we turn to you for advice. So if you're ready, I've got another question submitted to be asked.
I am ready, Todd.
All right, here's how it goes. Recently, my wife was going for some coffee and tripped over a pipe which was sticking 2 inches above the surface right outside the entrance to the coffee shop. As a result of her fall, she broke her hip and has to have surgery to replace the hip and fix other injuries. The store manager claims they are not responsible for her fall because the property is owned by another company. What can she do? Who should be responsible? That's a tricky one, at least in a layperson's sense, because I know when I go into a shop, 9 times out of 10, they don't own the business, they don't own the property, they just rent. So what do you think?
Well, when I see a situation like this, first of all, it looked like an accident waiting to happen, having a pipe sticking 2 inches above the ground. If they were going to cut a pipe off, they should have made it level and made sure it wasn't a tripping hazard, which it appeared to be.
Certainly.
Second of all, it appears that this happened in a strip mall. Mm-hmm. So I would be looking for 3 people to be responsible. Number one, the coffee shop itself, because it has a duty to provide a safe place to shop for its customers.
Okay.
Number 2, the owner of the mall, because, again, as the owner, he has to provide a safe place for people who come on his property. Mm-hmm. And number 3, these places usually have a property manager who responsible for making sure to keep the property clean, to keep the property safe, and so forth. So I think that you're probably looking at 3 separate parties that would all share in the responsibility.
Well, that's good in a sense, because that provides several different areas with which compensation might be sought for her injuries. Now, this was one of those things that I know is a hypothesis. We were hypothesizing behind the scenes here today about this, so I hope you don't mind us throwing this out there. But what if the coffee shop owner renting the property can show that they diligently tried to notify the owner of the property again and again, emails, letters, that kind of thing, saying you need to fix this? Would that in any way help their situation?
Well, I think it might go to help the situation. He'd still have a duty to warn people if he was aware that, it was a dangerous condition.
He should have had a sign or a little safety cone or something like that.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, this gives really good advice for somebody who may thought they had nowhere to turn. Now you've got several avenues, but it all kind of begins with a face-to-face. We always suggest that face-to-face appointment in your case is very important. Get in front of a professional and let's see what they say. Bruce, great advice. Thank you once again.
Well, again, it's my pleasure.
I thank you, sir. We look forward to talking to you next week.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up for Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Now, if you'd like to submit a question for possible future consideration, it really isn't hard to do. You simply go to the website, kickscountry929.com. Look on the homepage for BLS, Bruce L. Scheiner. If you're involved in some kind of a legal situation, I wouldn't blame you for saying, I don't want to wait and see if my question gets answered on the radio. I need help right now. So what you do in those circumstances is call the Port Charlotte office of Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates. 941-743-7777. That's 941-743-7777. One more time. They taught us in radio school. Got to go through phone numbers 3 times. 743-7777. Don't let anyone take away your rights. Find out how to protect yourself by calling Bruce L. Scheiner and Associates. And tell them Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.